The inspiration came from mostly wanting to stick out, when I'm a thumbnail, when I'm just kind of there on the picture, a still shot, and nobody even knows who I am, and they're just scrolling. They're gonna see a guy dressed in this, and they're gonna go like, what the hell? And they're gonna click maybe just for a few seconds, just because they're curious. My face does, it gets a little tight. The nose starts to get a little sore. The mask kind of pushes down on the nose a little bit. I don't know if you can tell. I got a fresh new mask today.
Where's the ventilation? Can we not put some holes in there?
No, that would look weird. Gaming, it's all about extra enthusiasm, extra action, extra drama. It's all about in your face, constant high energy. Your appearance naturally, in my opinion, should reflect that.
Most famous example of that is Dr. Disrespect, who has this persona that no matter where he is, it's the doc.
He was definitely my big inspiration for making a personality. I can owe it to him. It's one thing when you start seeing success on one platform. It's a whole different concept when you start seeing, oh my God, I'm starting to make a presence on a different, it's happening. It's actually happening.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Becoming a Creator podcast. I am here with Enzo Alder Blue, who's almost 200K followers on Facebook Gaming. He's a very distinct niche, if you can't already tell. For those of you that are listening, Enzo is covered literally in head to toe in blue. We're going to talk about finding niches and content creation in this episode. So Enzo, it is great to have you on the show.
Great to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
I think we have to start with the most obvious question right away, which is why did you choose to develop this personality and this appearance on your stream?
This personality has just kind of always been my gaming personality. I've kind of always just had this full of banter, a little egotistical, high energy kind of character. And, I don't want to say it's really even a character, more or less. It's just an aspect of my character. And, the appearance isn't necessarily, though this looks very different than how I usually look in my day-to-day life. I also act very differently than I do in my day-to-day life. So the inspiration came from mostly wanting to stick out, when I'm a thumbnail, when I'm just kind of there on the picture, a still shot, and nobody even knows who I am, and they're just scrolling. They're gonna see a guy dressed in this, and they're gonna go like, what the hell? And they're gonna click maybe just for a few seconds, just because they're curious,
I think it's super smart. Did you always want to brand yourself as Blue? Or how long did it take you to establish that as the thing?
It took me a few months. I kind of had I had a similar outfit before I made this channel that was kind of white themed, but I didn't end up going with that. I kind of got this outfit thinking of it as an extension of my original outfit, and then I kind of just ended up rolling with this one, and then this ended up being what I just stuck with.
I'm a fan of the blue. I think the blue would have worked better than the white.
Yeah.
More contrast.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think it helps you stand out, to that point, when people see a thumbnail, they see a bunch of COD streamers, you got they're still in the darkness, those guys on Facebook, you stand out. You're not just because you're a big name, but people see that and go, oh, I'm curious and want to get in. Do you think that's one of the reasons you're finding traction?
Oh, that's probably the primary reason. Honestly, it's my outfit. I don't deny that the majority of my new viewers come in, it may be 95% come in because I look like this rather than I'm just a new streamer playing Call of Duty. I really do stick out from every other streamer, even the big guys, not because of my viewer count, but because of how I present myself physically on camera. And not too many people have other ways of doing that.
Part of the game, right? It's you can choose not to play the game or you can choose to play the game. Is it hard to keep it up? You're now posting content across, not just one platform, but many platforms, and you've got videos going out kind of everywhere. Is it hard to keep it up?
I got a team of editors that have reached out to me and offered their help. And I got an awesome producer who helps me with all of my offline content. So as far as the work that I do the content recording and then they do the content creating. So the most tiresome aspect mostly comes from making sure that I always have that high energy throughout the entirety of my streams. So that way I can produce the most amount of high energy content that I can for my off stream content. But as for the outfit, my face does, it gets a little tight. You know, the nose starts to get a little sore. The mask kind of pushes down on the nose a little bit. I don't know if you can tell. I got a fresh new mask today.
Where's the ventilation? Can we not put some holes in there?
No, that would look weird. If I had a mouth hole or like some nose holes, it would just look so weird. It already looks weird enough with my lips doing that, but you know.
This is gonna iterate, like where maybe it's, I don't know how much that mask you have on is. Maybe it's like a $10, $5 mask, whatever it is. I can imagine there's like an iteration where you get like this crazy blue, like it's almost like a little more intense. You know, you're like leveling up the mask.
Oh, this mask. It took me months to get this mask. I ordered 8 of them. Cost me about $130 to get 8 of these. And these are the masks that I've been wearing for the last 2 years of my content. But this mask has been off sale for the last 2 years. The last time I bought masks were the last time they were on sale. So I had the same 5 masks rotating for 2 years straight. You'd start to see these black these little tears on my eyes. It kind of looked like I was crying. It was cool, little emo looking, but cool.
That's so fun. I'm just the amount of content that can come out of this identity. Would you, if someone else was trying to find a niche and like capitalize on it, would you recommend something this kind of physically intensive where it's like in their person?
Yeah, absolutely. Dressing up to stick out. It's just a basic thing that humans do. We do that already when we go outside. Sure, I'm not going out in my mask, glasses, and hat like this. Obviously, I get quite a few stares. I wouldn't feel so comfortable doing that every day walking down the street. But when we go outside, we already present ourselves. So that way, when people put their eyes on us, you know, they at least have usually enthusiastic perceptions of our appearance, you know. So it's only natural that we apply that into our streams as well. And gaming being such an extra kind of scene, you know, gaming, it's all about extra enthusiasm, extra action, extra drama. It's all about in your face, constant high energy. You know, your appearance naturally, in my opinion, should reflect that. And you should go wild with your appearance, whether that be your background going crazy or making yourself looking crazy like me. You stick out when you wear something like that. And when somebody's just scrolling on Facebook and they randomly get your stream up there, they're going to want to click, at least out of curiosity. And if they like your personality from that initial point of curiosity, they're going to continue watching your stream and potentially become a regular.
The most famous example of that is Dr. Disrespect, who has this persona that no matter where he is, you know it's the doc.
He was definitely my big inspiration for making a personality. I can owe it to him.
Do you know Chadwick? He's a COD creator. It's interesting. He went with the suits. And I remember when I first seen his content and I first met him, I was like, oh, that's interesting. He's wearing a suit. That's different. I knew nothing about him. I knew nothing about his content. But instantly I was like, oh, this is memorable. This like left an impression.
Exactly. It's great for leaving first impressions. A lot of times somebody will be catching your content at the wrong time of the day. You know, Facebook, you're competing with all types of medias, photos, music, text posts, all of the other people that they're following if they're not already following you. So when you come up on their page, maybe they don't have time to watch you. And having an outfit like that, so that way the next time you do come up, maybe a suit, maybe you're wearing the crown, maybe you're wearing what I'm wearing, it will really help retain that first impression. You come back, oh, it's the blue guy. I remember that guy.
Yeah, they say it takes on average like anywhere from 12 to 14 times for someone to like make that connection, like, or like touch points for them to become like a loyal or like retained viewer. And that's, I think it's, you're so right. The more they see that very distinctive thing, it catches their eye. I want to switch a little bit to just kind of building and cultivating community. Across all your platforms, you call out that your channel's 18 plus. How early did you establish that you wanted to do more mature content?
The thing is that with my 18 plus content, it's not that it is like adult humored central. It's adult humor featuring. In my stream, we don't fray away from saying the dirty joke. We don't censor ourselves to that degree, is what we should say. Back when I started on Mixer, I really wanted to establish that this was an 18 plus stream because I just didn't feel comfortable personally having kids coming into my stream and seeing viewers who I knew were children in my chat witnessing me saying jokes that I wouldn't be comfortable with them hearing in front of me in person. Like, it would make me cringe. Like, I would say a dirty joke and then I would cringe. Like, that person should not heard that. They should not be here.
Yeah.
And I think of, like, what if one of my little cousins heard something like that, and then I instantly relate to that, and I'm like, no, I wouldn't want that.
Do you think it's important for other creators to be upfront about that? Like create a clear boundary or like understanding of what they can expect?
Absolutely. Because it is important that if you want to make content for like a teen audience, definitely that is still for children, but you definitely are still making more mature content teens can ingest. And, you really want to make sure that you set a strong foundation on your target audience. So my target audience is 18 plus. Anybody who is above 18, probably under 60. I mean, I got some geezers in my chat. It's really helped me personally establishing regulars, especially when you do establish that almost rule set of, yeah, this is a 18 plus stream, or this is a teen rated stream, or this is a family friendly stream.
Have you noticed when you compare yourself to, let's just take other COD streamers specifically on Facebook, have you noticed because of your personality and like you saying, I want to do this 18 plus content, have you noticed your viewers tend to be different? Like, do you think your niche attracts like a certain group of people versus someone else's niche?
Absolutely. My community is definitely all about being together. They don't really argue amongst each other that often. There's not a lot of internal conflict with mods or nothing like that. My community has always been really solid at kind of busting each other's balls and then getting over it. We really like to kind of pick on each other, not be toxic and make fun of each other's flaws or poke at each other's insecurities or nothing like that. But we like to make fun of each other at the level that friends usually would. And that's a really important thing in my community for me, is that I could say, oh, screw off, chat. And, my chat is not going to screw off and leave and go like, screw you, Enzo, telling me to screw off. Yeah, I'm never coming back. They're going to stick around and go like, screw you, Enzo. Funny guy, scratches on the noggin, like it's all lighthearted in my community.
Have you found that hard, like, to maintain that intimacy or like that kind of friendly friendship environment as you've gotten bigger and bigger? Are you finding it challenging to do that, or are you just finding more creative ways to like make it happen?
No, it's not hard at all. I guess the hardest thing is trying to get that individual interaction with each regular in chat. It's obviously a lot easier to talk to the same regular every time when you got 50 viewers as opposed to 500. You got a lot more people that you are trying to give your attention to. In my community, I think maybe this is also a part of it being 18 plus. Everybody understands that if I have a really good going stream and I got like 1,000 viewers, I'm probably not going to be talking to every single person in chat. I'm probably going to try my best to present my stream for everybody in chat. It's almost a balance. Talking to people in chat, in a way, ironically makes people leave, because even though you are interacting with chat, not everybody has that feeling that they're going to be able to get that same interaction out of you. So if they think that you're interacting with chat, they think that, okay, he's not going to keep on doing his show. He's just going to be talking to his chat, and he's probably not even going to respond to my message anyway. I'm going to go to the next person. And that's a really important thing to keep in mind.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you're putting on a show, right? You're there to entertain. That's why most often people are hanging around. One of the things that I was thinking, I think you do really well, is building a loyal community. And a lot of creators, I think, struggle with building a loyal community. One of the best ways to do that, I think, is like having subscribers. Having folks that like will subscribe to your channel, and it's like a way to support you as well. But you often have to come up with like unique ways to try and incentivize, but then like, reward them for supporting you. And you've come up with some interesting like pitch videos for that. Is there any that you found that like really have just landed and you're like, like this worked for me, or this worked for my community?
Sub games are a really powerful thing. Call of Duty Warzone has this feature called regiments, where you can make a group of up to 250 people per regiment per invite, and you can get all those people in. Every single Friday, I host a sub custom games or sub squad up games where I open up my lobby for everybody in this regiment that they signed up for to be able to join. First come, first serve. So that way it's fair for everybody. You know, it's not like there's a queue. I don't invite anybody. I just open up my lobby. If you're in here and you're a sub, all right, I get to play with you. And that's helped out so much. Not only because people feel like they're in the spotlight, you know, they're on stream for the time that you're playing with them. They get their fair chance to play with you every single week. But also they really feel appreciated because you're taking your time to play with them, specifically sacrificing all other content you could be producing to be centering your time around your subs. And that really does mean a lot to subs. And that means a lot to me whenever I do it. You know, whenever I get a dub with my subs, sub dubs, it's the most exciting thing ever because it's like, yeah, freaking teamwork, community, man. That was my community that just got that dub. It's a little different than your regular squad, you know, because it's not only your fans, it's your friends. You know, at that point, you're really establishing friendships with your community when you're doing those sub games, and it's such an important thing.
Can you tell me a little bit about the Blue Room?
The Blue Room is an exclusive sub-only Facebook group where subs can not only share clips from my stream, obviously, but also they can share other streamers that they enjoy. So it's all about spreading content that is similar to mine. So that way, maybe if I'm not live, you know, a sub can go into the Blue Room and they can go like, oh, I like this guy's stream. You know, it's kind of similar to Enzo's, and this person just shared their stream. It's also the only way that you can get access to the regiment. So when you become a sub, you actually have to fill out a Google sign up sheet. we made an entire sheet that subs have to sign up. So that way we can make sure that the person who joins is a sub, and we can make sure that they get a chance to join and nobody's left behind. And God dang it, if you want to join, but you don't want to fill out that sheet, then too bad. It's really helped. Honestly, the Blue Room is a really good way to not only retain subs, but also get new subs in, because it's further establishing that sense of community.
No, I love that. It's such great advice for anyone who's thinking about starting to create benefits for subscribers. Like that space, that place to recognize them goes such a long way. How do you feel like as you're expanding more regularly on YouTube or other platforms, how are you finding kind of expanding into different platforms? Like what is it demanding of you as a creator? Because I think it's, when you're first on the one platform, it's like, okay, I'm on this. But then as you get bigger, you start to kind of go into other areas. How has that transition been for you?
It's been easy because I got a great team. I got a great team of editors, Upforce Marketing, who I go through for my editing. And honestly, they do the managing for my YouTube. I'll tell them like if I need a video specifically named something or specifically themed around something, or if I need specific clips, they're right on top of it. They got a fair price. They're reasonable to work with and super friendly. And honestly, they cover my YouTube, they cover my TikTok, and they make shorts, they make reels, they make all of the offline content that I could possibly need in a timely manner. And that has been able to allow me to grow to almost, well, I'm over 15,000 subscribers on YouTube now at this point. And I could have never imagined getting that many subscribers on YouTube. I mean, it's one thing when you start seeing success on one platform. It's a whole different concept when you start seeing, oh my God, I'm starting to make a presence on a different, like it's happening. It's actually happening. All this goes back to my point. It's all about having a good team. If you can make a good team, then you will go a long way, because this is too much work for one person to do. I mean, I don't doubt that I could do all this on my own, but I would be burnt out right away. I would be burnt out so quick. And, you know, that's a struggle that a lot of people think that they're not going to deal with until they are dealing with it. And then they find themselves in this pit where they want to keep working, but they have no drive to keep working because there's just so much work to do. And it feels, even though you have your goals, it starts to feel redundant because you're just always grinding yourself. You're always working, and it doesn't matter how much you love it. If you do it way too much, you're going to hate it. Delegating really helps. You're taking a lot of the work off of your shoulders.
If I'm listening to this right now, I'm like, oh, great. I'd love to do that, Enzo. I would love to hire an editor, a thumbnail artist. I'd love to hire a mod team. I just can't afford to do that yet.
Right.
At what point did in your journey where you're like, okay, I can start to let go of some of these things, or I can start to get support?
This is definitely a decision that I made when I'd say, went into the medium sized streamer kind of category. I would definitely class myself as a medium sized streamer. If large being millions of followers, small being under 10,000 followers, medium being 10,000 plus. If you are a small streamer, you definitely don't need to be producing such an insane amount of content. A slow stream, a slow, steady stream of content over time will do you a lot better than an insane amount of content, overworking yourself in a small period of time, because you'll just find yourself either burnt out right away or burnt out somewhere down the road. Burnout is bound to happen when you overwork yourself. So as a small streamer, if you can't afford to have a team to make all that content for you, I would definitely recommend just, wait it out. Wait until you can afford it. Continue that slow and steady stream of content and be persistent and be consistent with your content, and you will see growth and you will see financial income growth. And then from there, you can decide if it's worth putting financial investment into an editing team.
Were you full time and then you started doing that, or were you like seeing the path and you're like, oh, if I can start freeing up more of my time, I'll be able to do more?
I was full time at this point. I just was not producing as much YouTube content. I didn't start working with Upforce until last November. The amount of content that I was posting on YouTube was all coming from myself. So it was maybe like 1 or 2 videos a week that I would be editing together myself after streams. Then I also had another editor come to me, and I had them do some work for me for a few months. That definitely helped, but that was only about 2 videos a week maximum. And then Upforce Marketing ended up coming to me.
From goal setting, are you consciously setting goals for yourself? Are you like, I want to do this in 6 months, or I want to hit this in a year? And is there things that help you do that?
For me, yeah, I'm always making little goals for myself. It's all about daily goals. I don't necessarily put star goals on my stream, but I have a self-made goal in my head for every single time I go live. I'm like, all right, today, I think I want to try to make $100 worth of stars, or I want to make $150 worth of stars, or if we can break $75 worth of stars today, will be a good day. And then I carry that along with subs, followers. So I definitely do a lot of smaller, short-term goals rather than going like, I really hope this week I make $1,000 worth of stars, or I really hope this 1 month I get 1 million subs. You know what I mean? Like, I really try to make it small and simple, baby steps, to make it seem like the big path that is in front of me, my main goal, getting 1 million followers. It's such a long road, but that's my main goal. Doing the baby steps make the huge, big, giant steps seem really easy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fascinating, because some people will go, okay, by the end of this year, I want to do this, but they end up getting lost in that and not just putting one foot in front of the other. Because if you put one foot in front of the other every single day, you'll either be there by the end of the year, or you'll probably even be past it if you just focus on putting one foot in front of the other.
The important thing for me is really just envisioning yourself in that spot. Put yourself in where you want to be and look at all of the struggles you had to go through in order to get where you are to this point in your vision. And all of those struggles are going to seem so small because they're in the past. You've lived to this point your entire life. You're going to live through this next part. You're going to make it through this streaming grind, and once you do make it to whatever point you are looking to get, you're going to look back and you're going to go like, wow, that was easy. That's how I look at this. I look at where I am today and I'm like, wow, that was easy. And maybe that's a privilege that I get to say that. It really is. When you look at any kind of feat you go on, all the struggles that you went through in the past are going to be a lot smaller. So if you could really just take a moment, take some deep breaths, and really just envision yourself being where you want to be, it really does go a long way. It really helps with that morale.
It's so on point. I'm also just visualizing the blue man telling me this, but I'm like, it's very like prophetic from the blue man. It's great. I love it. We're already like a good chunk of the way through 2022. Is there anything you're super pumped about for the rest of the year?
Oh man, Modern Warfare 2. Come on, man. I am so excited for Modern Warfare 2. It's like I really missed out because the original Modern Warfare 2, I mean, that was easily my favorite Call of Duty game still to this day, but I was only about 9 years old. You know, I could only appreciate it to the extent of a 9 or 11-year-old. I don't know, or 10-year-old. I don't remember how old I was. But I am just so excited that I get to experience a Modern Warfare 2 launch as an adult. And not only that, but as a content creator and get to actually like really ingest the full scope of this game that's about to come out. You know, I really hope it's not dumpster fire, but I got a good feeling about it.
You've learned so much too. You're in like such a great position now. After 3 years of doing this, your favorite game, hopefully doesn't disappoint, is coming out and you can be like ready to like capitalize on it. That's awesome.
It feels like my content in a way is almost safe because my content revolves around Warzone. And with a game like Warzone 2 already generating so much hype before it's even released, it's a really good feeling and a really good sign for me as a content creator because that's exactly what my content is revolved around, is that game. It's nice to see that, you know, all of the viewers aren't going to play some other game that I'm not able to bring my market over to.
Yeah, that's always the fear, isn't it? When like there's a content drought, you're like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? Enzo, it was great to have you on the pod. Where's the best place? Is Facebook, is that the best place to find you, or can you find your content anywhere now across YouTube and TikTok as well?
Yep, you can find it anywhere you go. Just Enzo Alder and it's there.
Or if you just scroll on your feed and you see some blue.
Yep, that's probably me.
I love it. Enzo, thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate
Thanks
it,
for having me, dude. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. I wanted to just end this with a little bit of context on why we do what we do. We're former content creators ourselves, and we just really want to help as many content creators as we can. That's why we started Pipeline.gg. It's a platform where you can find other like-minded creators and learn from the pros who've already been there. Get step-by-step guidance so you can avoid all the mistakes that we made in the beginning. If you love the episode, there's going to be even more inside of Pipeline. So check it out. Head over to pipeline.gg.